The top 4 nuts seniors should eat and 4 to steer clear of holdup. Before you reach for that handful of nuts today, you need to hear this. What I'm about to share could literally be the difference between protecting your brain and bones or accidentally sabotaging your health without even knowing it. You see, there's one nut that millions of seniors eat daily thinking it's a superfood, but Harvard researchers have found it could be doing more harm than good, and I'll bet it's sitting in your pantry right now. Hey everyone, before we dive in, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment right now and tell me what city or country you're watching from. I love connecting with viewers from all over the world, and it helps me create content that speaks to your specific health concerns. 3 months ago, my 74-year-old neighbor Margaret called me in tears. She'd been doing everything right, eating nuts daily, taking her vitamins, staying active, but her recent bone density test showed she was losing bone mass faster than expected. Her doctor was baffled. Turns out, one simple switch in the nuts she was eating made all the difference, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what that switch was. I'm going to reveal the 4 nuts that science proves can add years to your life and keep your mind sharp. But more importantly, I'll expose the 4 nuts that could be working against you, including that superfood that's actually dangerous in the amounts most people eat. And hey, if you're serious about making smart health choices that actually move the needle, smash that subscribe button right now. We drop science-backed health videos every single week that cut through the confusion and give you straight answers. 1. The power of choosing right. Here's what blew my mind when I started researching this. A massive Harvard study following over 2,000 people for 30 years found that people who ate just 1 ounce of the right nuts 5 times a week had a 20% lower risk of death from any cause. But here's the kicker, and this is where it gets interesting. Not all nuts are created equal, especially when you hit 65 and your body's needs completely change. See, as we age, our bodies become pickier. What worked in our 40s and 50s might actually backfire in our 60s and 70s. Your digestive system changes. Your nutrient absorption changes. Even your tolerance for certain compounds changes. That's why the nut I'll reveal at the end, the one that could cause selenium poisoning with just a few too many, is so dangerous. Most people have no clue they're playing Russian roulette with their health, but first let's talk about the Fantastic 4, the nuts that can be absolute game changers for your health. 2. The Fantastic 4 nuts best nut. 1. Walnuts, the brain booster. Let me tell you about Robert, a 72-year-old retired engineer from Phoenix. Smart guy his whole life. But lately, he was forgetting names, losing his keys, having those tip-of-the-tongue moments that were starting to scare him. His daughter was worried, his wife was worried. Heck, Robert was terrified he was losing his edge. Then his doctor shared something fascinating. Walnuts contain more omega-3 fatty acids than salmon pound for pound. And these aren't just any omega-3s, they're ALA omega-3s that cross the blood-brain barrier and literally feed your brain cells. You know how a walnut looks like a tiny brain? Nature's not messing around with that design. Those wrinkles and folds. They're packed with compounds that keep your brain wrinkled and folded in all the right ways. Robert started eating 7 walnuts every morning with his coffee. Not a handful, not a big snack, just 7 walnuts. After 6 weeks, his wife noticed he stopped asking, "What's that actor's name?" 5 times during every movie. The research backs this up big time. A 2020 study published in Nutrients found that older adults eating walnuts regularly scored significantly higher on cognitive tests. We're talking better memory, faster processing speed, improved concentration, but here's what most people get wrong about walnuts, and this mistake could be costing you all the benefits. You've got to eat them raw and unsalted. Roasted walnuts, those healthy omega-3s get damaged by heat. Salted walnuts, that extra sodium can spike your blood pressure. Stick to raw and your brain will thank you. Best nut. 2. Almonds, the bone defender. Picture this. You're 75, playing with your grandkids in the backyard. You step wrong off the porch and crack, hip fracture, 6 months in rehab, loss of independence. This scenario terrifies most seniors, and rightfully so. But what if I told you that eating 1 ounce of almonds daily could cut your fracture risk by up to 40%? There's this woman, Linda, 68 years old from Tampa. Her DEXA scan showed early osteoporosis. Her doctor wanted to put her on heavy-duty bone medications with serious side effects. Linda said, "Doc, give me 6 months to try a natural approach first." She started eating 23 almonds every afternoon. That's exactly 1 ounce. Why almonds? They're like nature's bone-building supplement. Calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, and vitamin E all working together. But here's the secret sauce. Almonds contain the perfect ratio of calcium to magnesium. Most supplements get this wrong, but almonds nail it naturally. 6 months later, Linda's follow-up scan showed her bone density had actually improved. Her doctor was shocked. fact. Linda just smiled and pulled out a bag of almonds. If stories like Linda's inspire you to take control of your health, you need to subscribe to this channel. We share real success stories and the science behind them every single week. Hit that subscribe button, your future self will thank you. Here's an insider trick. Soak your almonds overnight in water. This breaks down the phytic acid that can block mineral absorption. You'll get more of that bone-building calcium into your system. Best nut 3, pistachios, the heart and eye guardian. Get this, eating just 1.5 ounces of pistachios daily can lower your blood pressure as much as some medications. No joke. If you're dealing with high blood pressure, and let's be honest, most of us over 65 are, this could be a game changer. My buddy Frank, 71, was on 3 different blood pressure meds. Still couldn't get his numbers under control. His cardiologist was talking about adding a 4th medication. Frank's wife read about pistachios online and thought, what have we got to lose? Pistachios are absolutely loaded with potassium, even more than bananas. This potassium helps your blood vessels relax and your kidneys flush out excess sodium. It's like giving your cardiovascular system a spa day every day. But wait, there's more. Pistachios are the only nut with significant amounts of lutein and zeaxanthin. These are the same antioxidants that make your eyes work properly. Think of lutein and zeaxanthin as internal sunglasses for your retina. They filter out harmful blue light and protect against macular degeneration, the leading cause of blindness in seniors. Frank started eating a 1/4 cup of pistachios every day. Within 2 months, his blood pressure dropped enough that his doctor actually reduced one of his medications. And as a bonus, his annual eye exam showed no progression of the early macular degeneration they'd been watching. Pro tip, buy pistachios in the shell. Having to crack each one naturally slows you down and prevents overeating. It's built-in portion control that actually works. Best nut 4, macadamia nuts, the digestive and bone ally. Let's talk about something nobody wants to discuss, but everyone over 65 deals with: digestive issues. Constipation, bloating, irregular movements. It's embarrassing, but it's real. Macadamia nuts are like a secret weapon for your gut health. They're loaded with prebiotic fiber that feeds the good bacteria in your digestive system. Here's what's cool. Macadamias contain a special type of fiber that acts like fertilizer for your beneficial gut bacteria. When these good guys thrive, your entire immune system gets stronger. We're talking better digestion, less inflammation, even improved mood. Plus, macadamias are one of the richest sources of manganese on the planet. Manganese is crucial for bone formation. It's like the construction foreman making sure your bones get built properly. Now, I'll be straight with you. Macadamias are calorie dense. We're talking about 10-12 nuts max per day. But here's the thing, they're so rich and satisfying that this small amount will actually help you feel full and avoid less healthy snacks. Alright, now we get to the part that might ruffle some feathers. The nuts that millions of seniors eat daily thinking they're doing their bodies good. Some of these might shock you. Others will make you think, wait, I eat those all the time. And one of them, I'm not kidding around here, can literally poison you if you eat too many. The Brazil nut revelation at the end, it's going to change how you think about superfoods forever. But first, let's talk about 3 other nuts that deserve a closer look. 3, the 4 nuts to be cautious about caution. Nut 1, peanuts, the inflammation trigger. Plot twist, peanuts aren't actually nuts, they're legumes, basically beans that grow underground. And for seniors dealing with arthritis or joint pain, this matters more than you think. I knew this woman, Dorothy, 69, from Dallas. Rheumatoid arthritis had been making her life miserable for years. Morning stiffness, swollen joints, constant pain. She was popping ibuprofen like candy. Her rheumatologist suggested an anti-inflammatory diet. Dorothy thought she was doing great. She'd replaced her afternoon cookies with healthy peanut butter and crackers. Here's the problem, peanuts are absolutely loaded with omega-6 fatty acids. Now, omega-6 aren't evil, but the typical American diet already gives us 15-20 times more omega-6 than omega-3s. That's like pouring gasoline on the inflammation fire. For months, Dorothy couldn't figure out why her joint pain wasn't improving despite eating healthy. Then her nutritionist suggested cutting out peanuts for 30 days. Within 3 weeks, Dorothy's morning stiffness was cut in half. Her swelling went down. She was able to reduce her pain medication, all from avoiding peanuts. Now, I'm not saying peanuts are evil. For people without inflammatory conditions, moderate amounts can be fine. But if you're dealing with arthritis, joint pain, or any inflammatory condition, you might want to pay attention to how your body responds. Caution nut 2. Cashews, the calcium blocker. You're taking your calcium supplement religiously, drinking fortified almond milk, eating leafy greens, doing everything right for your bones. But what if I told you that something you're eating might be blocking up to 50% of that calcium from being absorbed? Meet Patricia, 66, from Seattle. She was doing everything her doctor recommended for bone health: calcium supplements, vitamin D, weight-bearing exercise. But her follow-up bone density test showed continued bone loss. Her endocrinologist was puzzled until they did a detailed food diary. Turns out Patricia was eating a large handful of cashews every single day while taking her calcium supplement. Cashews are loaded with compounds called oxalates that bind to calcium in your digestive tract, forming a compound your body can't absorb. Think of oxalates like tiny handcuffs that grab onto calcium and escort it right out of your body. You're literally flushing your bone-building nutrients down the toilet. And here's something even scarier. Those calcium oxalate crystals, they're also the main cause of kidney stones. For seniors who already have reduced kidney function, this can be serious business. Patricia switched her cashew, snacking earlier in the day, away from her calcium supplement. She also reduced her portion size. 6 months later, her bone density stabilized. I'm not saying avoid cashews completely, but timing and moderation matter. Keep them away from your calcium-rich meals and supplements. Caution. Nut 3, pine nuts, the taste destroyer. This one's weird, and I mean really weird. There's a condition called pine mouth syndrome that can make everything you eat taste like metal for weeks. George, a 71-year-old food lover from San Francisco, discovered this the hard way. He'd made a big batch of homemade pesto using pine nuts from his local grocery store. 2 days later, everything he ate tasted like he was chewing on pennies. Coffee, his favorite steak, even water. Everything had this horrible metallic taste. George thought he was having a stroke. He rushed to the ER. They ran every test imaginable: brain scans, blood work, neurological exams. Everything came back normal. A young resident finally figured it out: pine mouth syndrome. Certain species of pine nuts, sometimes mixed in with the edible ones, can trigger this bizarre taste disturbance. The exact mechanism isn't fully understood, but it's linked to non-edible pine nut species that occasionally contaminate the edible supply. There's no way to tell by looking at them. George's taste returned to normal after 2 weeks, but it was 2 weeks of misery. For seniors who might already be dealing with appetite issues or medication-related taste changes, this can be devastating. Want the flavor of pine nuts without the risk? Try chopped walnuts in your pesto instead. You get that rich, nutty flavor plus brain-boosting omega-3s. Caution, nut 4, Brazil nuts, the selenium time bomb, and now the big one. The nut that health gurus everywhere recommend as a superfood, but that can literally poison you if you eat too many. Before I blow your mind with this revelation, if you're finding this information eye-opening, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. This is exactly the kind of crucial health information we share every week, and YouTube's algorithm only shows our videos to subscribers. Brazil nuts are famous for one thing: selenium. This mineral is essential for thyroid function and immune health. Health websites everywhere recommend just 1 Brazil nut a day for optimal selenium intake. But here's what they don't tell you. A single Brazil nut can contain anywhere from 68 to 91 micrograms of selenium. The recommended daily amount, just 55 micrograms. The safe upper limit before toxicity, 400 micrograms. That means just 4 to 5 Brazil nuts could potentially push you into dangerous territory. Sarah, a 68-year-old health enthusiast from Phoenix, read about Brazil nuts online and decided to add them to her daily routine. She was eating 3 to 4 nuts every day, thinking more is better. After 6 weeks, Sarah started losing hair. She felt exhausted all the time. Her joints ached. She developed a persistent metallic taste in her mouth. Her doctor ran test after test. Thyroid function, autoimmune panels, cancer markers. Everything was coming back borderline or slightly abnormal, but nothing definitive. Finally, a savvy physician asked about her diet. When Sarah mentioned the Brazil nuts, he immediately ordered a selenium level test. Sarah's selenium levels were nearly 3 times the normal range. She had selenium poisoning, selenosis, from eating what she thought was a healthy superfood. Here's the really scary part. The selenium content in Brazil nuts is wildly inconsistent. It depends on the soil where the trees grew. You literally have no idea how much selenium you're getting in any given nut. You can easily get all the selenium you need from foods like fish, poultry, and eggs without playing this dangerous guessing game. Sarah stopped eating Brazil nuts immediately. It took 3 months for her selenium levels to normalize and her symptoms to completely resolve. 4. The Smart Seniors Nut Strategy. So here's your game plan. Focus on the Fantastic 4. Walnuts for your brain, almonds for your bones, pistachios for your heart and eyes, and macadamias for your digestion. Remember the golden portions: 7 walnuts, 23 almonds, 1 to 4 cup pistachios, or 10-12 macadamias per day. That's about 1 ounce of nuts total. Spread them throughout your day. Have walnuts with breakfast for brain power, almonds as an afternoon snack for sustained energy, pistachios with lunch for heart benefits, or macadamias after dinner for digestive support. Keep them in the refrigerator or freezer. Nuts go rancid quickly at room temperature, and rancid nuts can actually be harmful. And obviously, if you have any nut allergies, none of this applies to you. Always prioritize safety first. Alright, I want to hear from you. Which of these nuts surprised you the most? Are you already eating any of the Fantastic Four? And honestly, were you eating any of the cautionary ones without knowing the risks? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment and often reply personally. If this video potentially saved you from making a costly health mistake, especially with those Brazil nuts, please give it a thumbs up. Your engagement helps YouTube show this important information to other seniors who need to see it. And if you're serious about making informed health decisions based on real science, not just internet trends, you absolutely need to subscribe to this channel. We cut through the noise and give you actionable information you can use right away. Speaking of actionable information, next week we're exposing 5 so-called health drinks that are secretly spiking your blood sugar. This includes 2 drinks that most doctors recommend, but that could be sabotaging your metabolism without you knowing it. You definitely don't want to miss that one. Finally, please share this video with someone you care about. Whether it's a friend, family member, or neighbor, you could be helping them avoid a serious health mistake while introducing them to nuts that could genuinely improve their quality of life. Remember, taking control of your health isn't about making huge, overwhelming changes. It's about making smart, informed choices every single day. Choosing the right handful of nuts is a perfect example of a simple decision that can have a profound impact on your health span and lifespan. Thanks for watching, thanks for being part of this community, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay healthy, stay informed, and keep making those smart choices.